Welcome students. Today we are going to start with the second module, that is understanding customer expectation through market research. So before going to that, let's see something that is called service quality model. Okay, and what is exactly service quality model or SERQUAL model, and what are the parameters of it? So the customer's judgment of overall excellence of service provided in relation to the quality that was accepted. So when we go to have a service or when we would like to consume a service, so we expect so many things, and on what basis the judgment is going to happen. Okay, and the process and outcome quality are both important one, because both are in service. We have know that how process is equally important, people important, and uh, the physical evidence is important. So when it happens to the service encounter, so most important thing is the process and outcome quality. So both plays an important role. So if you see the circle model, the five dimensions of service quality, the first one is the reliability. So even you can remember it as an RATER, RATER, for the easy remembering. So what is reliability? So ability to perform of the promised service dependable and accurately. So that what when you are promised something, when you are giving a services, it should be reliable. So you whenever you are promising something, so customers should come and rely on you that you are going to perform all the promised services dependably and accurately. Next is assurance. So knowledge and courtesy of employees and their ability to convey trust and confidence. So here the role comes about the employees who are working for the services. So their knowledge and the courtesy what they have, and how, the way of convincing the trust and confidence, that matters a lot. Okay, that is how assurance is given to the customers. And coming to the tangibles, so physical facilities, equipment and appearance of the personnel. So this we know how, and but this plays an important role, that we know how tangibility plays an important role in service marketing. And comes the empathy. So empathy, it's all about caring, giving individualized attention to the firm provides its customer. So that all fall under the empathy. And then come the responsiveness. Okay, willingness to help customers and provide prompt services whenever they require your help, and whenever whatever you have told them, the prompt services which you are going to give. So that all falls under the responsiveness of the company. So these all five dimensions create the service quality in the service. So we call it as five dimension model and circle model also, service quality model also. So you can remember with RAT, that is RAT. And if you see this attributes of service circle model, when it comes to reliability, providing service as promised, okay, that is reliable. Whatever the company is promising in the advertisement or when they meet customer one to one, whatever they are providing, they should provide it, whatever they have promised. Next is dependability in handling customer service problems. So obviously every service sometimes face the problems. So they should have the ability and that the dependability that customer service problems will be handled. Performing service right the first time, as said or as promised. Providing services at the promised time, maintaining error-free records. So these all come as an reliability attributes. Now coming to the assurance attribute. So employees who instill confidence in customers. We know that people how important role plays in service marketing, that in 7 P's, making customers feel safe in their transaction, that is developing the trust. Employee who are consistently courteous. Okay. So employees who have the knowledge to answer customer question. So this develops the assurance. Coming to the empathy. So here giving customers individual attentions. Okay. Employee who deals with customers in caring fashion. Okay. As in personal touch. Having the customer's best interest at heart. Employees who understand the needs of their customer, that also develop the empathy. and convenient business hours as per the requirement of services. If you go to Bangalore, if you look at Manipal hospitals, so they give service like if you have a tooth problem, so on Sunday, come out morning and you can go at evening. Same with the Saturday. So these are the hours where holidays are there. You can book an appointment, you get a service and go on the same day. So next day you can join the your job also. Okay. So this is how they take care of the empathy. Tangibility. So it's all about modern equipment. Okay, that we have discussed how visually appealing facilities are, employees who have a neat professional appearance, visually appealing materials associated with the services. So those all tangible facts talk about the quality, and in the dimension that is tangibles. And comes to the responsiveness. So keeping customers informed as to when services will be performed. So this plays in responsiveness from the side of the organization. So prompt services to the customers, that always plays an important role. Willingness to help customers, readiness to respond to customer request. So these all act as a responsiveness and which develop the loyalty with the organization also. Now coming to the main exact thing, that is knowledge gap, the first one, and this is how it can be solved. So the first gap is called knowledge gap, and this is the knowledge gap is difference between the customer expectations of the service and the company's provision of the service. So this gap arises because there is a understanding of the customer, the knowledge about the customer, what they exactly require. So essentially, this gap arises because the management doesn't know exactly what customer expect because they have not gone through it, they have not researched it. So there are a number of reasons could happen, including first, lack of management and customer interaction. So if there is no interaction, there is no communication, we will not come to know what exactly the customer is expecting. And next is the lack of communication between service employees and the management, because service employees are the main people who interact with the customers. If they don't communicate with the management, and they will not create the proper policies. And coming to the insufficient relationship focus. So again, relationship matters a lot in the business to develop the services, to customize the services, and improvement of the services. Next is the failure to listen customer complaint. So this is all about responsiveness. So if they are not receiving the complaints, so goes on complaint increases. So the improvement will not happen. The loophole remain the same. So customer will dissatisfied and will not become the loyal. If you see the key factors leading to provider gap, the first one is inadequate marketing research orientation. So always companies should go through the market research orientation from the customer expectation side, and in this happens is insufficient market research made by the organization, research not focused on service quality, that quality that just now we have discussed, inadequate use of market research. If these things happen, so obviously we'll not come to know what exactly customer need. And next is the lack of upward communication. So it's all about the interaction between the management and customers. So if there is no management and customer communication, so policies are made by the management that already been told you. If the customer is not talking or communicating with the management, so again there is a gap, and the policies will be made not according to the customers. Insufficient communication between the contact employees and managers that just now explained. Too many layers between contact person and top management. So again, this creates the problem. So layers means passing the information which will be tailored, again cut, so that will not reach the top management. It will take huge time. So again, policies delayed. Insufficient relationship focus. So lack of market segmentation, how exactly who will be the customer and how to reach them. Focus on transaction rather than a relationship, because actually relationship increases the transactions. So if you believe on transaction, not on relationship, so customer will stay with the organization for one time, not more than that. So focus on new customers rather than relationship customers. So again, uh, to acquire a new customer, you have to spend very huge amount. But if you are staying with the same customer, so no need to spend much on the retention of the customers, because rather than acquiring the new customer where the cost is very high. Then come the inadequate service recovery. So this is a lack of encouragement to listen to customer complaints. Complaints always add an advantage to improve the product. But if it is missed, then there will be a gap. Failure to make amends when things go wrong. So whenever things goes wrong in service, there should be a service recovery. So with that, the problem can be solved fast. No appropriate recovery mechanism in place for service failures. So that has to be designed. If this happened, how it is going to be solved, or the personnel who are there and how they are going to handle that particular situation. So these are the key factors which lead the to providers gap one. Now coming to the common research objectives for service. So if you are going to understand the customer, so what objectives to be designed? So there are huge objectives. The first, to identify dissatisfied customer, that can be an objective. We can go search on that basis. To discover customers' requirements or expectation. The first is all about dissatisfied customer, and second one, knowing what extra they want and what new thing they want. Next is to monitor and track service performance, how you are doing, to assess overall company performance compared to the competition. This is all competitive analysis with the other companies or other organizations, to assess gaps between customer expectation and perception. So again, this is the zone of tolerance, how to assess that gap. Next is to gauge effectiveness of changes in services. So anything new come, to let's understand the effectiveness, so that the objective can be designed with the research. To appraise service performance of individuals and teams for reward. So again, this create the employee loyalty. Okay, the performance of individual and team for rewards, how it can develop, and loyalty who create the retention of which create the retention of employees also. Next, to determine expectations for a new service. Okay, so expectation for a new service is like what extra they want from the organization. uh, there will be a good customers, always they can give the good feedback, so we can start up a new services what they want. To monitor changing expectations in an industry. Okay, next, to forecast future expectation. So monitoring changing expectations, all about the technology, new things comes, that has to be understood. Next is to forecast future expectation. So these all are the common research objective for services. Now coming to the criteria for an effective service research program. What criteria should be chosen to effective a research program? The first comes the includes qualitative research. So whenever we are making a research, so I told you the most important part in the research is all about finding what exactly required, and that objective we have seen, and qualitative research and quantitative research. So it's not marketing research is not limited to surveys and statistics. So some forms research called qualitative research, and even some we call them exploratory and preliminary, and are conducted to clarify problem definition, the theoretical, not with the rating. Next, with the help of quantitative survey, we can tackle like number of customers satisfied. Okay, how do you rate, and some like on the quantifiable basis. Now coming to the includes perception. Next, we should include perceptions and expectation of customers. So if we include the both perception and expectation, so already we have discussed that expectations are a standard or references, what exactly the customer required, point of customer. And in evaluating service quality, customer compare what they perceive they get in a service encounter with their expectation of that encounter. So this reason, the measurement tool has to be included in the research to understand the expectation of the customers. Okay. Next comes the include measures of loyalty or behavioral intention. So loyalty, we know how it can be increased. Loyalty matters a lot, and because loyalty is the only thing which improve the performance of the company, because loyal customers stay with the organization, which increase the stability and even gives the you can say regular customers to the organization. So that has to be kept in the research objective. And next is the balances cost and value information. So an assessment of the cost of research compared with its benefits or value to the company is another key criterion. One cost is monetary, so we know that, including direct cost to marketing research companies, payment to respondents, and internal company costs incurred by employees collecting the information. So these all fall under the costing of the research. Okay, so time costs are also important because there will be huge time spent on the research. Research is not like just one step; it is a huge step-by-step process, which include the time commitment needed internally by employees to administer the research and the interval between data collection and availability for use by the. So these are cost comes while we are going to research. So that has to be taken into account. Next is include statistical validity when necessary. So we know when we do research, we always go through the statistical validation. Okay. So wherever there is a requirement of statistical validity, we have to keep it because research has multiple and diverse objectives. We know it. So these objectives determine the appropriate type of research and methodology. Okay. So that's why there should be an inclusion of the statistical validity whenever there is a necessity. Next is the major priorities or importance. So customers have many service requirements, but not all are equally important. Okay. So one of the most common mistake managers make in trying to improve services, spending resources on the wrong initiatives, only to become discouraged because the firm services does not improve. Measuring the relative importance of service dimension and attribute help manager to channel resource effectively. Okay, so whenever research is preparing, so research must document the priorities of the customer. So priorities plays an important role, which is the most important one. So everything can't be taken as priority. There are certain things which has to be taken as priority. Next is occurs with appropriate frequency. So customer expectation and perception are dynamic. We know changes always happen with the trends and taste. Companies need to institute a service quality research process, not just do isolated studies. A single study of service provides only a snapshot view of one moment of time. So there should be in frequency, always should be happening as per the change in the taste and as per the change in the trend to expect the future sales and understanding the future requirement of the customers. So this is all about the criteria for an effective research program. So that's a service research program. Now moving to the types of research, we can see the right side the type of research and the left side research objective. For example, we would like to identify dissatisfied customers to attempt recovery. So identify most common categories of service failure or remedial action. So what type of research we can go through? So we can go through customer complaint solicitation. That is the type of research has to be done. And next, to assess company's service performance compared to competitors, identify service improvement priorities and track service improvement over time. So here we can come up with the relationship survey. That is a type of survey should be used for particular research objective. And next is obtain customer feedback while service experience is still fresh. So just finished once they have consumed it. So act of feedback quickly if negative patterns develop. So we can, that is called as a post-transaction service. Next, use as input for quantitative surveys and provide a forum for customers to suggest service improvement idea. So here we can use the type of research that is customer focus groups. And next is all about the mystery shopping of service providers. So here, this type of research can be used for measuring individual employee service behavior for use in coaching, training, performance evaluation, and recognition and rewards, identify systematic strength and weakness in the services. This can be done through mystery shopping. And measure internal service quality, identify employee perceived obstacles to improve service track employee morale and attitudes. So for this, we can use the employee surveys and determine the reasons why customers defect, okay, to forecast future expectation of the customer and to forecast future to develop the test new service ideas. So here for the first one, determine reason why customer defect, we can use lost customer research. And for the to forecast future expectation of customers to develop the test new ideas, we can go through the future expectation research. So these are the types of research which are used to a particular research objective. Now, what are the process we follow in the research? You all know you have done your projects, you do through, but when it comes service, the first stage that all comes with the define the problem and setting the objective for what we are going to. Last we have seen what is the problem and what type of research we are and designing the objective. Next comes the develop the measurement strategy, how you are going to measure it. And third, implement research program, whichever through which program you are going to type of research we are going through. Then collect, tabulate the data and include these all factors in your particular survey, that is objectives. Then after collecting and tabulating the data, with the tabulation, we can interpret and analyze the findings. And this findings, we can put it in a report of the findings. That is the stage 6. So here we can understand what exactly the customer need and we can understand customer expectations. Now moving further, building customer relationships. So we know what happened, how customer research stage and everything there. Now how can we develop the customer relationship? So we know relationship marketing that we have already seen in the marketing subjects. So you all know that why CRM customer relationship management is important role. Even at the side of the HRM also, even at the side of the marketing. So it's a philosophy of doing business that focus on keeping and improving current customers. So this increase the listening to them and improving the product what we have. And it does not necessarily emphasize acquiring new customers. It's all about usually cheaper to keep a current customer cost less than go attractive the new one. Okay, new customer cost acquisition is always high, so it's better to maintain the already having customer, and it is very cheaper also. And its goal to build and maintain base committed customers who are profitable for the organization. So thus the focus is on the attraction, retention, and enhancement of customer relationships. So this is how the relationship marketing is been done. Now, who is the loyal customer for us? Shows behavioral commitment and exhibits psychological commitment. In behavioral commitment, he buys from only one supplier, even though other options are exist. And we also say ourselves, we are loyal to some particular service. We go there only, for example, barbershop, even hospital services, or even advocacy services. We prefer some particular person. Increasingly buys more and more from a particular supplier and provides constructive feedback and suggestion for him because we have very good relation with that particular service provider. And next comes the exhibits psychological commitment. It wouldn't consider terminating the relationship psychological commitment, and it has a positive attitude about the supplier. And he says good things about the supplier always. So these are all are psychological commitment. Now coming to the evolution of customer relationship. So how the evolution comes? First, customer as seen as a stranger, okay, and then we seen him as an acquaintance, then as a friend, then as a partner. Okay, so let's see how an individual evaluated so with the customer. So first, the customer as a stranger. Strangers are those customers who are not aware of, or perhaps those who have not yet had any transaction or interaction with the firm. So these are called customer as a stranger. So at this level, industry level, strangers may be conceptualized as the customers who have not yet entered the market, or we can say at the firm level, they may include customers to the competitors. So they are the first footfall to the particular service organization. And second, come to the customer as in acquaintance. So once customers awaits and trial are achieved with the services, so his familiarity is established and the customer and the firm become acquaintances. So creating the basis for an exchange a relationship. So after the stranger, the customer will become as an acquaintant. As a primary goal for the firm at this stage of the relationship is satisfying the customer. So in the acquaintance stage, firms are generally concerned about providing the value proposition to customers that is comparable with that of competitors. So here it's all about how he acquitted the stage and how he is going to satisfy the customer. And the stranger customer, it's all about the attracting the customer and acquiring that particular customer. And next, coming to the customer as a friend. So in this process, so customer continues to make purchases from a firm and to receive value in the exchange relationship. So the firm begins to acquire specific knowledge of the customer needs also. So allowing to create an offering that directly addresses the customer situation. So this the provision of unique offering and thus differential value transform the exchange relationship from acquaintance to the friendship. So this transaction is from acquaintanceship to the friendship, particular in the service exchange relationship. Okay, and this developed the trust with the consumer. Now he was a stranger, we attracted him, and from the attraction we acquired him, and after the acquired we started satisfying him. He became the acquaintance, okay, and started satisfying him. Then we become as a friend, and we started listening and particularly the individual and giving him offers. So from where he from acquaintance to he became the friend. And next come customer as a partner. So customer continues to interact with the firm. So level of trust often deepens, and the customer may receive more customized product offering and interactions from the organization. So here, because of the trust has developed in the friendship stage, it is necessary but not sufficient condition for a customer a firm partnership to develop. So it that is the creation of trust lead to the creation of commitment, and that is the condition necessary for customer to extend the time perspective of a relationship. So this is how the evolution happened with the organization with the customer. So first he come as a stranger, then as an acquaintance, then he become as a friend, and then as a partner. So if you look how the actual goal comes, first we getting the customer, then we satisfy the customer, then we retain the customer, and then we start enhancing the customer. And this is all about the customer goal of relationship marketing. Now, underlying logic of customer retention benefit to the organization. We all know if customer is satisfied, so customer will be retained and increase this the profit. So how to retain the customer? We can retain it to the quality services. Okay. And once he's satisfied, so retention increases and profit also increases, which increase the employee loyalty. And always employee loyalty good gives good quality services to the customer. And again, customer will be satisfied. Again, customer will be retained to the organization. Now, what are the benefits the organization get from the customer loyalty? First is loyal customer tend to spend more with the organization over time. Here, the financial increases of the organization, profit increases, even cost reduces because on average cost of relationship maintains are lower than the new customer cost that we already seen that acquiring new customer is always higher than keeping the current customer. So next is employee retention is more likely to with stable customer base because of this satisfaction increases, retention increases, profit increases, so salaries increases or payment increases, so employee will become loyal. So again, the circle go on passing. Next is lifetime value of a customer can be very high. With the customer loyalty program, so they will get a huge value because the for a long, huge time, customer stay with the organization. Now the benefits to the customer, if you see, and here the inherent benefits in getting good value. So always being a loyal, we get always get a good level value. Economic, social, and continuity benefits we get from the organization. Okay, contribution to the sense of well-being and quality of life and other psychological benefits being with the organization. Avoidance of change. Why to try something else when we are already having a good service provider. Simplify decision making because no need to go for information search. So we can directly go to the particular service provider. No need to huge process of go with the huge process of information search and all. Social support and friendship because of the being with the same organization, and special deals offers come to the because of we are loyal to the particular organization. Now, what strategies are used for building relationship? So in this bonding strategies are important. That is called level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Okay, there are levels. And if you look at foundation stage, when we are making a strategy, first comes the excellent quality or a value. So this act as a foundation for the strategical foundation with the customer to develop relationship. Next comes the careful segmentation. So whenever segmentation is going to be happen, so here the exact customer had to be segmented. So because careful segmentation always lead to the success story of a services. Now coming to the bonding strategy, that is financial bonds, and second one is social and psychological bonds, structural bonds, and customization bonds. Now, if you look at first one, that is financial bonds. So here it's all about the volume and frequency of rewards given to the customer. The offers in terms of financial offers, 10% discount, 30% discounts, and keeping them as a stable pricing for them, and bundling and selling and cross selling. So these are the benefits of the strategy used by the relationship strategy. So that is all financial bonding. So next coming to the social bonding. Okay, here what happens is it's all about the continuous relationship with the organization. So sorry, customers, and then personal relationship with them, then social bond among the customer. If you look at the example, if we become social bonding with the organization, so here the customer is not like nameless or faceless. So here we know the individual customer. If you look at example of lawyers and accountant and teacher, okay, and they understand us and they provide their professional services according to us. That is social bonding. Even we have counselor, healthcare providers also, and hairdressers also. Healthcare providers like that doctor, and they understand us and they provide exactly what they want, what we want, because they have been tracking with us and they know what our psychological situation and personal situation, everything. According to that, they provide us services through the social bonding. For example, your case paper, you are going to the dentist, so he before your appointment he will read all your story and everything, then he can have social bonding with you, why this has happened, he can understand everything. And then come the customization parts. So here all about the anticipation or innovation and mass customization and customer intimacy. So here it's all about the giving customized services to the organization, and in this customization, that is a mass customization. So it's all about giving services on the basis of customized way. And when it comes to customer intimacy, this is an important role because customer intimacy always helps the organization to know what exactly individual customer want. That is one-to-one solution that individual is needed. So this customization bond, this can be solved. Next comes the structural bonds. So this is the mix up of all the level 1, level 2, and level 3 bonds. So here it's all about the integrated information system providing joint investments and shared process and equipment. For example, if you purchase anything from Flipkart, so first comes the offers you are available, they tell you, and you place according to your requirement wherever address and all. Then after that, they will give you a tracking system. Once they are giving offers also, they are giving social bonding also, and they are giving customized services to you also. Then they are coming up with, you can track, once you are ordered, you can track the product, you can check it where it is and where it is, and when it is going to reach it. So this is all come the structural bondings. Okay, so it's not easy to imitate. These strategies are not imitated because it's all about it includes financial also, social also, and customization also. Okay, it is between the customer and the firm. So these are the levels of relation strategies are used with the customer. That is, first one is financial bond, then comes the social bond, customization bond, and structural bond. So it's all add to the excellent services and values to the customer. Now coming to the next is service market segmentation and targeting. So we know what is segmenting and targeting, how it is important and how it is played an important role for the success story of any organization. So segmenting, targeting, positioning, these are all strategic fundamentals. We call it as STP analysis of marketing used to generate competitive advantage, which can be translated into business opportunities, and that form the success story of organization. So if you look the process, how this steps in marketing, segmentation, and targeting happen, the first comes is identify basis for segmenting the market. So we have different bases on what we do segmenting that you've already studied in your marketing management, on the basis of geographical area, age, gender, region basis, how you are going to do. Then develop profiles of resulting segmentation. Then third is develop measures of segment attractiveness. Then fourth, select the target segments to whom we are going to do. Then ensure that segments are competitive. So these are the 5 steps which are involved in market segmenting and targeting for services. So in segmenting, how we do? We know what is segmenting, the common characteristic needs, purchasing behavior of the consumption pattern. Okay, that is called particular segmenting. So in marketing segmentation strategy that recognize the need of specialization to suit the needs of a segment of the market rather than trying to be all things to all people. So that is called segmentation. Now, why we do segmentation, you all know it, that it leads to efficient and effective utilization of resources. Okay, because no wastage, we know where we are targeting and where we are going. Improves manageability of the market by dividing the market into smaller parts. Then help to improve the company's ability to satisfy the customers because we know who are our customers. Now we know objectives, why we do segmenting. We are understanding the similar need people, understanding the difference between need of the buyer among the segment, and creating different needs. And once the specific segment has been chosen for the marketing effort, the organization is more focused, okay, in its efforts, and there is a potential for increased return on its investment. So it is cost effective for the marketers to assign the buyers to different segment on the basis of a number of parameters. So these are the objective of segmentation. So in this, we come with the 2 segmentation. One is consumer based, and another one is buying situation based. So in consumer based segmentation, we do it geographically, that is region, city, density, and climate. And in demographic way, we do it in age and life cycle stage, gender and income. In psychographic, we do it on social class, lifestyle, and personality wise. But when it comes to the buying situation based, we do it on special occasion like marriage or engagement or anniversary, something. Next, benefits sought using the souted benefits. Then usage rate by the consumer. Okay, then loyalty status of that consumer. Then buyer readiness stage of purchasing the services. So according to this, the segmentation is made. So these are the 2 bases for segmentation. Now comes the targeting. So targeting is the choice of a single segment or group of segments that the organization wishes to select. Okay, so companies can, once the segmentation is there, then comes the part of the targeting. So companies can evaluate and select market segment on the basis of segment size and growth. Okay, how much is the size and how is the growth. Then segment structural attractiveness, then company's objective and resources. So on this, the evaluation goes on. Then selecting market segment, it is on the basis of four things. So first is undifferentiated market. So undifferentiated marketing need not any strategy because it's cover all the entire target market rather than a segment of it. So in this strategy employs a single marketing mix, that is one product, one price, one placement, and one single promotional effort to reach the maximum number of consumers in that target market. And coming to the differentiated marketing, so in this, it's all about the customized approach. Okay, and customers satisfy customers according to their needs. So here all about dealing with the differentiated to the differentiated market. So in differentiated market strategy, target different market segments with specific marketing mixes, designed specially to meet those segments and the needs. Now coming to the concentrated marketing, that is, it's in strategy which provide a third way solution that allows marketers to target a single market segment with a single marketing mix. So single market, single marketing mix. Another market, another marketing mix. So that is all concentrated marketing. Now coming to the customized or micro marketing, it's called as micro marketing more. So in this, it is a marketing strategy in which advertising efforts are focused on a small group of highly targeted consumers. So micro marketing requires a company to narrowly define a particular audience because the size will be less and it will be very costly, a very high premium one, and by particular characteristics such as zip code or a job title, and tailor campaigns for the particular segment. So it can be a more expensive technique due to customization and lack of an economies of scale because we are focusing very small part of the segment. So this is how selecting market segments happen. So next, coming to the market coverage strategy, how it can be done. So target market selection involves the dynamic process of matching the changing variety of products and services with the changing variety of customer want. This is how the coverage can be covered with the differentiating the services. Companies need to consider several factors while choosing the market coverage. So what consideration happens is first is the availability of companies' resources, then the degree of product homogeneity. So how it is a similarity between different, there's a little change or a big change. Product life cycle stage of that particular service they are giving. Then market homogeneity rather than product homogeneity, how the market is. Then comes the competitors marketing strategy. So how they are doing the strategy, according to that, the coverage strategy will be used by the companies. So this is the end of the model 2. I hope you have understood. If you have any questions, you can put it on the